What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? And what another day of sideways action. Are you having a fun time? Because I'm having a fantastic time. What's going on, guys? Remember to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already, because this one is going to be interesting, right? Where do we stand? Talked about this all week. We thought the bulls were going to come out. We've had some selling, holding. Where are we going? I mean, what is going on? I mean, the biggest news today being the GameStop hearing. This new surge is different. The rookie investors, retail investors, man. I mean, they're pretty knowledgeable in my case. I've known some pretty sharp retail investors. I'm just saying. But being said, there's not a lot to report on. Tomorrow is Friday. It has been a short week. It will be interesting nonetheless. We've had some random different pumps and dumps and more pumps and dumps and sideways action. So we're just going to go ahead and share the charts. Where are we really at today? That is the ultimate question. Well, there's Square. Square's prime for next week, but nonetheless, let's go to SPY here. After hours, we are selling off a little bit today. All right, there is not a lot of news, and if you look, I mean, the market right now, it is selling off after hours. It has pushed extremely hard, so the sell-off hasn't really, in the overall, the macro of everything that's going on, it is not selling off that bad. It's actually playing in a range, to be honest. It's back in this range right now. To be honest, in that 200 today, we pumped right back over that. And then now after hours, we're back under it. So it'd be interesting to see how we play out. It's hard, again, to say overnight. I can give you a bunch of plays, but ultimately, there isn't really a lot of good setups, right? We're trying to find a direction. And right now, I wouldn't highly advise to jump into anything right now and to wait and see how this market goes. The VIX, right? It's come back down, right? We had that pump. Now it's starting to pump up after hours again. I think we get rejected. We come back down to the 20. I mean, we may gap up overnight. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. And then sell off tomorrow and then run towards the end of the day tomorrow, because that seems to be the new pattern. Normally, we've been selling off on Fridays, but it seems like the past 2 Fridays, we've actually been running quite a bit. So it is quite interesting. TLT is just holding this pattern and hasn't really budged since here. Every time it gets pumped up, it gets shot right back down. Yeah, all the metals have been coming down. Bitcoin in itself has actually been coming down too. A little bit. This might gap up, but it's hit all-time highs and is now gapping back or coming back down slowly. The dollar in itself, it's starting to sell back off again. So I mean, right now, the cause of this is just exhaustion, right? That's all that is. So we're not getting some crazy sell-off. Everybody's ready for this market to pick back up. There's no real reason for it not to pick back up. I mean, right now we have the major storms going on right now, so there's been a lot of issues with power and everything. That could be affecting some stuff a little bit, but it's not playing too much. I think numbers came in a little off today. I didn't get to actually see what the numbers were for unemployment today, but being said, I think the numbers were a little bad today. I think it's where we got a little initial sell-off, but there is nothing really pushing this down, right? To be honest, I know March is normally a typical month where stuff starts to sell off, but again, Congress has been out this week. Congress will be back next week. So next week we got stimulus. We might get stimulus news. Maybe we're just going sideways till then, right? It's just, you have to realize every day isn't going to be a day to trade. I can tell you that. Even myself today, I think I took one position in Fastly was the only new one I took, and I took a long leap on that one. I took a 2023 leap on Fastly. After it sold off, I hit that $80 mark. I bought a leap in Fastly. Is there a lot of red? There is red. There's not a ton because I've managed my risk through size position, and I still have a lot of cash. I've been sitting mostly cash. I do have decent sized positions in the very good Butcher and an okay position in you and Tesla. But ultimately, I'm spread out in a lot of different pennies and stuff that I'm kind of holding throughout the year. But ultimately, everybody's waiting for that bounce back. If we flushed, I think you would surprise a lot of people. A lot of people are I think pumping a crash, but I think a crash won't come until, first of all, we had one last March, right? They don't come every year. Second of all, I know people have been talking about the real estate market crashing and all that stuff. I think all that stuff takes time, right? It takes time to build up to that stuff. But I think once again we see rates and stuff, once rates start getting raised, I think we'll see a good correction at that point. When will that be? Next week we might get a little bit better insight into that because Powell will be on the horn next week. I have to get you guys back on Sunday exactly when he's supposed to have that talk. I think it's on Tuesday next week. It has nothing to do with the Federal Reserve. I think Powell is just talking in general, but he likes to get flooded with questions that can sway the market. So just be aware of that and be mindful of when that comes. Tesla in itself, it's holding this, right? Like you got one wick that's come down. Every time it's come near this, essentially that 174 mark, it just gets bought up. Tesla's got a lot coming this year, and Cathie Wood the other day was bringing up some really good points on autonomous driving and where Tesla was going. I think a lot of people left that out. I think it actually surprised Cathie Woods on the fact that autonomous driving is going to be her quicker than she even thought. So being said, I think that's why this is staying afloat and is not breaking below this. Because again, my original, I think, price target was 745 was where I thought the correction would be, and it wouldn't get past there, but it hasn't even gone down past this 162 mark. So it'll be interesting. March isn't even here. March is typically time we sell off. So or I guess some kind of correction, but we haven't really, we've had some of these like minor corrections, but interesting to see. Tesla, good. You got Square earnings next week. Again, could be good if it does sell back off. I've been waiting for it to get down here, and it's been missing the zone. It's been tagging out around this 260 mark, but I've been watching Square for this to do a pull because it's been bouncing right back. And again, there's a price target raised to 330, I think, on Square, so I could get a nice play out of that. Airbnb, I would really like this one to come down because I'd like to grab some leaps in that one. Apple, I've actually been waiting for it. If it hits this red zone, I want to get a leap out of there as well. I don't want to overextend myself. I kind of want to see how the next couple of weeks play out. Again, for the month of March, normally, again, some kind of sell-off there. But again, we'll see. Maybe we just run. I mean, there's just a lot of good news. There's a lot of stimulus. Again, none of this stuff is going to take effect. That's why I believe everything is just kind of randomly selling. Nobody really knows where the money's going. I think people are just waiting this week. I get some good stimulus news next week, and we start ripping again. Could be wrong. Anything can change. The next candle is always 50-50, but that is just my opinion. And that's what you come here to listen to, right? Exactly. So appreciate it. Disney selling off. Don't care about that. You is now in this down channel. It looks like it actually finally broke out of this channel, to be honest here. So that, again, I think ultimately this is your dip buy, right? I think is going to have an explosive year. A lot of these I think are going to have explosive years. Pelletier going to have an explosive year, right? Like, I don't think you're going to ever see them at a lot of these prices that they are now. Especially with innovation in this year and what's going on. NMDM, I actually didn't realize this got into my zone today. I need to start building a position in that as well, because I do like NMDM on that front. I don't really care about that one. High Tide is coming down. If I can get it at 40 cents, I would love that. I think a lot of these are buys. This ALLM, it's at a strong support. It's been holding the support fantastic, and that 200 is coming up. Once this takes off, I think this is going to, Alliance is going to be phenomenal this year as well. Planet 13, we got a wedge coming here. I mean, there's stuff starting to set up pretty good. A very good butcher. I've been talking about this company for that's what seems like forever. I think that's waiting. Maybe next week this starts. I mean, a lot of stuff is building up to next week. Yeah, we've had a sell-off, but it hasn't been that dramatic. We've had this slow bleed off. I think it's only a matter of time before this thing just really starts to accelerate back up. Waiting for this one to come back down too, CRNT. Planet, this one's been bouncing back and forth. I mean, I don't even know what's going on with this thing anymore. Riots actually come way back. If it does get down to this 200, so we're looking at about the 45 mark. I probably need to grab some Riots, a leap in that as well. I have to look at the contracts on Riot. I don't think they go out a year. I don't think you can grab the leaps. Actually, I think the furthest it goes out is to maybe August. I think the last time I looked. Crisp still selling off. There's a lot of these MP pushing up. Man, this thing has just been ripping. This renewable has just been ripping like crazy. I haven't even been keeping up to par with this one, but it's definitely been ripping. STPK, this one's coming down finally. Be interesting to see. Again, everything's coming at really good prices. And one thing to keep in mind too is Cassie Woods that came on and she said everybody is selling and they are buying, specifically on Tesla. But now I think is the time. I mean, we may correct, right? You have to take your own risk management. Do your own due diligence. But I mean, this is the time I was talking about throughout the year. Maybe it's come a lot quicker than I thought it was. Maybe this sell is what we get, and that's what we're going to get, and then we're just going to take off from this point. Tilray did have a bit of a sell-off, but it's still holding the zone. We'll see how that does. See, Tap try to move up, but it's back down in the zone. This is actually wedging quite nicely, actually, here too. Something to keep in mind. This LKCO is wedging nicely. So something to keep on watch. Again, all these things are wedging and holding, I think, for that next move up. WWE, I thought I was going to break out there, but we pulled back into the zone. Again, everything is holding very well. Everything is looking really good. This one isn't. This is a penny I'm holding throughout the year, though. Fundamentals I like on this one. So that's why I'm holding this one through the year. See where it goes on that one. AMC still it pumped. There was some news today that came out today about being bought out and stuff. So this pumped today. Again, I have a leap in that one. It's just being patient, man. It's shares and leaps, right? If you can be patient, these bigger moves, you'll get bigger returns. Ultimately, right? You're going to see some red, right? If you're becoming an active investor, yeah, you're going to see some red. Get over it, right? It's going to happen. The corrections happen. I think this is probably going to be the most red you might see this year, right? I think we're really going to run. Building positions, right? Waiting, being patient. Don't jump too soon, but there's still a lot of good stuff out there right now. POW, yeah, a lot of these are the same, right? A lot of these are good setups at solid bases right now, getting ready to run. So we'll see. Again, tomorrow is Friday, but I think CCL, it did break out yesterday. Sorry, I'm kind of running through these. I know a lot of them are just basing out, and it is Friday. I didn't want to make this video too long, but be careful tomorrow. If we do sell off, just be mindful. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a sell-off, and then we turn around and we start screaming back up and reclaiming a lot of what we've lost over the past couple of days. Come tomorrow afternoon, right? Fridays normally take profit, but again, the past 2 Fridays haven't been that way. And I'm just simply stating, again, do your own due diligence. This is how I feel about the market right now. I think right now it's just weighing on people's patience right now, right, and testing a lot of people right now. Again, these sell-offs haven't been too crazy. As soon as we've had these massive spikes down, they've been bought right back up. And again, a lot of money is being moved around. It's hard to tell where the money's going, right? Because Bitcoin is sold off a little bit. TLT is not really holding. It pumps and dumps. Metals aren't really holding. They pump and dump. Nothing is really holding. So I think it's only a matter of time. We've seen this actually a couple of weeks ago, to be honest. A couple of weeks ago, the market was very stagnant like this. And then all of a sudden, we had a slow bleed off like this. And then next thing you knew, we just got this huge spike. Maybe the market is waiting on that stimulus news next week. As soon as Congress comes back, we might start hearing some stuff, hearing when stimulus checks come out and stuff. And then that will start the rally again. At least push it back up. Maybe that will be the ignition to start pushing the whole market back in some direction, right? So ultimately, just keep an eye on that. Again, you got Powell next week. I think that's pretty much all I got. But again, on Sunday, we'll have a better idea of what happens tomorrow and how we're set up. If we hold tomorrow, I think next week we'll do a lot of running. This week we came into this week and I thought we were going to run. I thought it was going to be very bullish. We did a lot of sideways action and some really dumps and just holds. I mean, everything is at good support right now. Again, the market, you can't see where the money is going at the moment. I don't see where the money is going. Big tech rested all the way up until this week. I thought big tech would explode this week. It started out that way on Monday. It kind of exploded a little bit and then just kind of slowly died off. So again, everything is still holding well. We'll have to see how we do overnight, see how we do tomorrow. And I will see you guys on Sunday to come out with that plan of action. So just manage risk, take care, watch those profits. Don't let them go. Until next time, guys, I will see you guys later.